The word itself probably came from the Creole word jazz, meaning strenuous activity, but especially sexual intercourse. So if the term has controversial roots, the music itself changed the course of popular music. New Orleans was the birthplace of a uniquely American form of music which came to be known as jazz. The city was a melting pot, and jazz was its product. In late 19th century New Orleans, many neighborhoods had brass bands. The bands played in Mardi Gras parades and in funeral processions, and eventually the music spread to saloons and dance halls in New Orleans' red light district. New Orleans had a reputation for its continual party atmosphere. The annual Mardi Gras celebration was a highlight. While in other cities ethnicity was a problem, in New Orleans the city's cultural diversity allowed a mix of music. And jazz was a hybrid of European, Creole, and African American music. During the first decade of the 20th century, New Orleans bands would compete in public contests, which helped increase jazz popularity. A jazz craze was sweeping the nation that eventually incorporated the jazz sound. Improvisation and syncopation, the technique of placing emphasis in unusual places, were what characterized the essence of jazz music. While the popularity of jazz soon spread to other cities, notably Chicago, another key factor in the increased popularity of music was the invention of the popularity of phonograph records. Records that sold coast to coast made the sound easily accessible. Whereas previously a live band's performance was required to gain fans, this helped usher in the jazz age of the 1920s. The closing of the New Orleans red light district in 1917 may have ended the city's dominance in jazz, but the music was born and its musicians spread the sound, and I just wanted to praise some of the few best known. Jelly Roll Morton claimed to be the inventor of jazz, and while many dispute the claim, he was one of the early innovators, contributed a swinging incipation to a variety of music, introduced scat singing, vocal based on instrumental sound, and the instrumental solo. Louis Armstrong, possibly the most famous of the popular of the New Orleans musicians of that era. He was the cornet trumpet player who shifted the focus from collective improv to solo performance. His relaxed style singing, gravelly voice, and his ability to blend the lyrics and melody of a song for expressive purposes influenced every singer and performer of the genre who followed. Fats Waller was one of the most popular performers of his era. His instrument was a piano, as you can see in this picture, and his talent was also in songwriting. He wrote over 400 songs, including standards such as Ain't Misbehaving and Honeysuckle Rose. Bessie Smith was one of the most popular female blues singers of the 1920s and 30s, and is a major influence on other jazz vocalists. Her fame is based on her blues recordings, which blended blues with stylings and improvisations that characterize jazz music. Performers including Billie Holiday and Janis Joplin cite her and her powerful voice as a major influence. So, jazz was born in the late 19th century, and it is still swinging today. Its early artists remain popular and famous, and their music is still familiar to jazz lovers here at the dawn of the 21st century.
Dun, dun, dun. You can cut that out.
In trouble with syncopation there.
Whatever.